The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, welcome to the third and final day of the NetElixir Social Week. To get started, we'll take a quick look at the agenda. For those of you who missed day one or even day two, I'll just do a quick recap. So on the first day, the NetElixir paid social team did the webinar on how to create a winning paid social strategy. And what we went through was a couple of strategic frameworks that can help you launch your paid social program from a holiday perspective. Day two, yesterday we had two of our partners join us from SmartFluence and Smartly. SmartFluence is a performance marketing platform that can help you launch your micro-influencer strategy. And Smartly is an automation platform that can help automate every stage of the paid social management. And today we have a very special guest, Tim from Pinterest, joining us. He will be talking to you about inspired holiday shopping on Pinterest and how the holiday season actually kicks in a lot early on Pinterest and how do we make the best use of that for the 2019 holiday season. Tim is an agency partner lead and has been partnering very closely with NetElixir. Thank you, Tim, for being here today.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thanks to you and team for hosting us. We're thrilled to be here and participating in this webinar series. And we're thrilled to be speaking with your colleagues and clients today. So just by way of introduction, I'm Tim Smith. I'm an agency development lead for NetElixir, and I'm here to talk to everyone today about inspired holiday shopping.
Awesome. So quick intro before we get into the real topic about Pinterest, a quick intro about NetElixir. We've been around for more than 15 years now, a premier partner with Google, Microsoft, UPS, and Facebook. And we've been fortunate enough to work with some great clients like Teleflora, Lenovo, Century 21 Department Stores, and Kansas City Steaks. Our overall mission over these years has been to help e-commerce brands find and acquire new customers online. And this has been done by developing some great proprietary technology that helps you track every single customer who comes to your website, and also helping our clients dominate various channels out there that include paid search, organic search, paid social, Amazon ads, and other MarTech services. So with that, I'll now hand it over to Tim to take us through what Pinterest can do for you this holiday season.
Wonderful. Okay, so happy holidays, everybody. We're here to talk about the inspired holiday shopping on Pinterest and how that can fuel your business. So let's take a quick look at the agenda for the following slides. We're going to go ahead and start with an introduction to Pinterest for some of you who may not be using the app every day. So to start with, we always like to start with our mission, which is to bring everyone the inspiration to create a life that they love. That's our overall goal. We added the holiday part in there because holiday inspiration is so important to imagining what's possible. People are open to these new ideas. They're open to trying a new product or service. And Pinterest is a platform where people are planning what to do, try, or buy next. Inspiration is the spark for something new. Ideal mindset for people when they're walking into Pinterest is that future-oriented thinking about what is possible in their day-to-day lives. And if done right, it makes life more fulfilling, enriching, exciting, and positive. So how does Pinterest work during the holidays? Again, those of you who might not be on Pinterest, here's a quick look at what our feed looks like. It's a visual discovery engine that shows you the ideas that resonate with your taste based on what you search, save, and view on the platform. In this case, we're looking for some holiday ideas around beverages and cookies. A great gin cocktail is a perfect gift for this holiday season. That's some of the discovery you can find on Pinterest. So why do people come to Pinterest to find some new ideas? Next slide. They come to discover ideas for just about anything you can imagine. So daily activities like deciding what to wear or eat, major commitments like remodeling a house or training for a marathon, ongoing passions like fishing or fashion, and milestone events like planning a wedding or a dream vacation. We not only bring them the inspiration, but we help them make those ideas a part of their everyday life. So they come to Pinterest to get inspired is the key takeaway here. If we take a look at the next slide, you'll see father and daughter. Dad's looking at his phone and he's checking out a great new tent and has all sorts of camping ideas. In his mind, he's going to have a backyard camping sleepover with his daughter where they'll be roasting marshmallows and telling stories. But when she sees that very same pin on Pinterest of that tent, she sees it as a girls' night where they'll be playing fun music and having a great sleepover with her friends. So again, one idea of a tent on Pinterest and two very different ideas for how people will actually plan and incorporate that into their lives. That's because when you think about Pinterest versus some of the other platforms that are out there, you might be looking at friends who hosted a party. You might be currently tweeting about, I'm currently hosting a party, but Pinterest is really about the future. I'm going to be hosting a party, and what elements do I need to plan that go into that? And this is across, again, a variety of different topics, but to summarize in three ways, it's the daily decisions. What am I going to eat today? What am I going to wear? What am I going to look like? What makeup am I going to wear if I wear makeup? Seasonal celebrations. This can be a birthday for your 4-year-old, Halloween, or any of the holidays, the winter holidays like Hanukkah or Christmas. And then, of course, those big life moments, a wedding, having a baby, buying a new house. These are all of those moments that are being planned on Pinterest for the day-to-day. So as we go on, let's talk a little bit about the inspired holiday journey and consumer insights around holiday on Pinterest. Of course, the holiday season is a time of joy, but also a time of stress. So as we start getting into the holidays, we know the stress that comes with that part of the year. It is the season of warm and fuzzies in terms of joy. So people are celebrating, they're spending time with those that they don't see all the time, and they're indulging in traditions that may be new or time-honored traditions for their households. But it's also a stressful time because there's a lot to do. You have to attend these holiday events. You have to mail cards. You have to manage people and family dynamics. You have to compete secretly to be the best host for the holiday party. And then that requires a lot of work, cleaning, getting organized, and completing things that you have to do separate from the holidays. So when you think about Pinterest and the holidays, again, Pinterest is the platform that's going to help people discover what they need to do to celebrate those holidays with friends and family, the people that they love. So that includes the food, the decor, the entertainment and travel options, and of course the best gift ideas for the season. And so when you look at the total audience for pinners, this holiday season, there'll be 61 million pinners performing 320 million searches and 3 billion saves around holiday content this year. So we did some research. The questions we had included, how do we understand how users found inspiration for the holidays? Where does that spark come from? How pinners decide what ideas to work on? So we conducted some light research in an effort to build a foundation of the users' inspiration discovery journeys around the holiday on and off of Pinterest. So there's 4 key themes that we'll touch on today. Number 1 is that people on Pinterest are planners. They're planning, again, what to do, buy, and try next. 85% of the Pinterest audience is on a mobile phone, so really mobile matters. Visual is critical. Some wise person once said, a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is the opportunity to really take advantage of that. And lastly is that trends inspire. If we can point out some trends that might be helpful, it will really resonate with the people that you're trying to connect with this holiday season. But people aren't dropping everything they do for the holidays. They still have to pick up their kids from school, cook for their families, and maintain their weekend commitments to keep up with friends. So it's important when you're on Pinterest to start early, recall those past experiences that you might have learned from during the holiday season, and then hunt for new ideas to bring those forward. And again, this is across a variety of different areas, but here's 3 things to think about. Meal planning around the holidays is a key feature of Pinterest. Pay attention to this if you have an opportunity to contribute to people's planning process here. Decorating, everybody likes to have a festive moment during the holidays, and decoration is a key theme for people planning their holiday. And of course, gifting, we want to get that perfect gift for all of our friends, coworkers, and loved ones. This is a perfect opportunity to present your products as great ideas for people to take advantage of. And here's the planning starts early part. So we're looking at searches, and when people are saving to Pinterest boards, this behavior starts taking off towards the end of August and into September. We're right now in the middle of October, and those searches are still rising. So on Pinterest, when we look at that search data, we can see that Christmas searches are spiking in September. It's not a surprise to us because people on Pinterest are planners, but there's a big opportunity to inspire and influence that audience at the start of the consumer journey. and Pinterest can drive sales right up to the last few days before Pinterest. But again, starting early is a key opportunity for people. And if we take a look at some of the Newstar results, this is a new report which we can share more broadly, but it confirms the findings that we've felt for the last couple of years, that Pinterest is an early touch platform that drives more incremental sales than brands otherwise would have received without Pinterest. So Newstar takes into account early marketing touch points, where sometimes last click models are capturing existing demand and serving basic paid navigation, people who are already intending to complete a sale versus inspiring people to a new purchase. So in this year's study, Pinterest made up only 11% of the total media spend between the 5 brands that were part of it and generated 18% of their incremental sales revenue. Pinterest was the most efficient at driving incremental conversions and revenue compared to other digital channels, with a ROAS of 2x social and 1.3x search. So at 25%, Pinterest had the highest conversion incrementality. If you're looking at last touch alone, you're underestimating Pinterest's attribution by 48%. And so when Pinners first start looking for a gift, they start on mobile. So when we survey the audience, you can see that 63% are starting on mobile when looking for a gift versus in-store throughout the shopping experience. And then people who use the app for holiday shopping and planning also use their mobile devices in stores as well to help guide and complete that purchase as well. And generally speaking, when we ask pinners, over half, 52%, said they spent a lot or a little more on gifts this holiday season when compared to those of non-pinners. I'd also like to call out that 94% that spent on themselves, which points to a trend of, if there's a lot of good holiday deals, sometimes people will take advantage of them themselves for a little self-gifting. So it's important to take that into account as well. So the visual part of this is really critical to inspiring a purchase. We want to create that inspired purchase on Pinterest to help people buy more. And again, visual is critical to making that journey. So instantly, if you are looking at this collection of pins, you can instantly tell what fashion item is going to resonate more with you, and that might be very different from the person sitting next to you during this call. And visual search is a real consumer usage pattern. So if you think about all of your search behavior, up until this point, it's largely been text. And we've been seeing now with Alexa and Google Home, a lot more of those searches are becoming voice searches in the home. But our CEO is fond of saying that the camera may be the new keyboard. And increasingly, people are looking at visual search as a way to find those items that they're really looking for. And in this example, if you were to see this table and connect with it and think, this is the perfect table for my dining room, could you describe in words what this table is? Is it mid-century modern? Is it light oak? How would you describe this whole table and chair setup? And so we've released a new tool. If you open up your camera icon in Pinterest, you can snap a photo from your phone inside of the Pinterest app, and we will give you visual search results that will help you connect with items just like this that you can continue on and purchase. This is an example of our visual search camera technology. And flipping that concept on its head, what we've done is allowed you to go ahead and click that little icon in the lower right corner, and you can actually zoom in. So in this particular scene, it's a wonderful setting of the stool, a rug, a plant, and of course the chairs. Maybe you're interested in the chairs, maybe you're interested in the table, but with our flashlight technology, we'll allow you to actually highlight the item that you're interested in, and we'll give you search results for either the chair or the table as you select. So visual search is really connecting people to the trends. And people are using the image, so that's our lens, to reference 80% of the shopping journey starts with actually a visual search. So 66% of consumers are actually saying that visual search helps them connect to the most recent trends. A lot of people won't buy a product unless they can see an image of it ahead of time. So those are some insights for the audience here. We also want to talk about trends that inspire. So we've already discussed how Pinterest users are big time planners, and they tend to start saving twice as early as people on other platforms because it helps them decide where to shop and what to buy. By reaching Pinners at an early stage of their planning process, you're going to be able to place your products and services in front of them at a time when they're still open to ideas and potentially different brands than the ones they've considered in the past. There is an opportunity to reach pinners right to the very last minute as they search for inspiration ideas and continue to grow that week over week, actually including the holiday and even some of the post-holiday sales. So let's take a look at a couple of the trends. This one is for food and beverage. So pinners are looking for holiday ideas, and that really increases as they look in the final 4 weeks leading up to the holiday. That's when the menus are really getting finalized for the holiday. A trend for this year is small plates. So people are looking for bite-sized appetizers. Christmas dips for party is up year over year in terms of search and save, and finger food for the Christmas party. Increasingly, another trend that we're seeing this year is the idea of grazing tables. So if you're having large parties, instead of the idea of having everyone sit down at a table and have a big, large, multi-course dinner, how can you set up stations where people can actually go graze on bite-sized dishes in different places throughout the house and then mingle to be more cohesive to having good conversations around the holiday season? And then also sweets and sugar plums. They're not completely just holiday meals. People are thinking about desserts. So some trends this year: Grinch pancakes are up almost 5,000% year over year. Grinch fudge recipes are up about a quarter as much, and gingerbread house icing recipes are up about 230% as well. So these are some trends that you could potentially take advantage of and pay attention to. In the fashion industry, for those of you in fashion, Pinterest is really helping people put together those perfect party ideas. You want to look good during the holiday season at your holiday parties. People are looking for those cool winter ideas so that they can stay warm and toasty during the cold holiday season. That's been a top search. And then, of course, the family picture outfits. Everyone has these pictures where they're all wearing the same thing. People are looking to create some interesting new trends on those family photos that they're sending out to friends and relatives. We're seeing growth of 3,000% year over year on people coming up with those novel family picture outfits. So another strong trend that you can potentially pay attention to. In financial services, it's key to remember that people are traveling during the holiday season. And so if you're a financial services company, people are paying attention to the credit cards that will earn them the most points for that heavy spending season when they're spending a lot of their household income on gifts and celebration during the holiday season. They're looking for those next big vacation trips. They're looking for cards with benefits around action and adventure. Cruise vacations are up, as are tropical beach vacations. So this is a good opportunity as a financial company to really be thinking about what offers you can give to pinners who might be spending a lot more this holiday season on those items. Great. So those are some of the vertical trends. We have more of these. Please inquire afterwards if you'd like to learn more about trends in home and tech. We can share those as well. But let's move on now to the Pinterest holiday strategy. So we'll go through these in detail. If you're going to seed the purchase on Pinterest, the first thing to secure holiday sales is being an early part of that consideration set. So unless you're in the initial consideration set for what a consumer is going to buy for themselves, friends, or family, there's 0% chance that you'll be in the checkout cart at the end of that process. So you certainly need to be there at the beginning of the planning process to make sure that you have a chance to be there at the end conversion moment. If you have an opportunity to inspire somebody who's planning an event in their lives, really to spark inspiration in the purchase journey, you want to be associated with those new trends and ideas that people are most going to resonate with. And that's an important part of the whole process too. Visually meeting consumers, people know what their taste is when they see it. So if you can visually meet consumers where they are and when they're in an active state of mind of looking for that meal to plan or looking for that great gift idea or that decoration that will really set their table apart, visually do that on Pinterest. This is your opportunity. And then when you have the chance, maybe somebody has saved an item of yours to one of their gift boards. You definitely want to optimize towards people who are engaging with your content, but then you also want to retarget them later on in the process to make sure that you can bring that consumer back to your site to go ahead and complete that purchase. Now, during this process, we want to talk about a strategic initiative for us. The number one piece of feedback that we got from pinners over the course of the last couple of years was that they find that perfect item that they'd like to buy, and then they weren't able to click through on a pin and actually buy that. So in an effort to get more products onto Pinterest for people to buy, we've introduced Pinterest catalogs and shopping ads activation. So now as an advertiser, you can actually get your whole product catalog that you might be using on other platforms, actually get all of your products onto Pinterest. Once you bring those items onto Pinterest, you can organize those pins into different product groups to help you organize different sections of your product lineup. And then you can promote those within our Ads Manager tool or one of our ads partners into shopping ads to increase your total distribution and, of course, increase sales during this holiday season. Here's a quick screenshot of what that catalogs site looks like. It's an easy self-service tool. Catalogs is really the foundation that allows us to bring all of these products onto Pinterest. And it'll start with organic distribution. So if you get your products up on Pinterest, you won't need to worry about creative outside of your product shots, and you won't need to worry about targeting parameters. These will be naturally inferred from how your product groups are organized and the metadata that's associated with them. So any retailer can come here and upload their product feed directly and then start organizing these into catalogs. Of course, optimized CPMs that will allow you to optimize to conversions, and doing dynamic retargeting are part of our ad solution that will help you actually get these products in front of viewers on Pinterest. So here's some potential distribution areas on Pinterest. We can actually recognize now, as we said before, and identify individual products across the thousands of pin images that exist on Pinterest. Related products are the first few slots that show above a specifically linked product, and we'll actually be able to showcase shoppable pins in this environment. We also have a See All tab that's entirely populated with product pins. Those are exclusively pins where you can click on and go to a product page to buy that particular item that you're looking to buy, whether that be a director chair or those pendant slides. So here are our top formats for shopping ads. The first one that we'll look at is just a standard shopping ad, and really they look exactly similar to any of the other ads that you would be seeing on Pinterest, except we denote them with a little price tag item here. This is a search for leggings. Of course, it'll give you a good example. In this case, is promoted. It'll give you a price and the ability to link to that product page and buy them right now. The next one is Shop the Look. This is a great format. In this case, we're showing an example from Home Depot. They have this great scene of this very stylish bathroom, and you can actually shop the different products here, whether that be that mirror, whether that be that shower curtain, whether it's the towels or something else in the image. You can actually link to that vanity in this case that's being highlighted and click here to buy that for about $750. This links to the product page, and from here you'll be able to just buy it on the Home Depot product page, which is loaded here into the Pinterest app browser. The next one that we're getting into is Shop the Look and One Tap. So in the One Tap example, what you'll see is that when you are actually clicking into a pin, we'll load that product pin directly underneath. So you're not having to click twice in order to get to a commerce opportunity. With One Tap, the second you enlarge the pin to its state, you can go ahead and see the website directly inside of that close-up pin environment through the Pinterest browser. And then carousel. So here, carousel is denoted by those three circles, those four circles that you see here. You can go ahead and swipe to the right or to the left, and you can see the different images. So maybe you want to showcase a different color, maybe a different size, or maybe you want to include different product shots in real life versus those that are on a white background. You can do that with carousel to show the diversity of options within your product line. And lastly, or second to lastly, we have autoplay video. So in this example, it's a single grid environment. You can go ahead and have that video directly in Pinterest. Pinterest users are enjoying the video that they're seeing on Pinterest. It's a great option to show in sight, sound, and motion your products for this holiday season. And then this is the last one, autoplay full width video. This is when we're actually breaking the two grid feed and giving you the opportunity to have a full width video directly within the Pinterest environment. And this is a bit of a large chart to go through, but as we go through the holiday season and the go-to-market, the topic that we really want to address is the maturity and sophistication of our ad solution. So most of this was built within the last 18 months, and we've been hard at work with more to come in the following year. We have different audiences, surfaces, bid types, and formats. So it's all table stakes when you're thinking about a new advertising platform to get started with. So we've really focused in on introducing our interests and our keywords to help people optimize to their new conversions. And of course, the new optimized CPM that helps people optimize to conversion, as well as awareness video, which is great as well. So we have a great roadmap that we'll share at the end of this year. But as you consider across your objectives from awareness to sales, it's important to think about your audience surface, bid type, and format as you develop your marketing strategy for Pinterest. So when you're thinking about the holiday, it's very important to look at the marketing mix. So think about how your strategy might differ from platform to platform. And again, there's a reminder here that 51% of people conducted that visual search in the last 6 months. So reach out to the Pinterest team and ask them for what insights are going to be most relevant for you and your brand as you move forward into the holiday season. If you have a product feed, make sure you go ahead and ingest your product catalog into the Pinterest shopping ads format and use the Pinterest tag to develop a measurement plan. It's important to take a look at what sales are being attributed based on views, saved, and click behavior. Marketers have an opportunity to think a little bit differently about how Pinterest is used in an early touch phase of the whole marketing cycle, especially around holiday. And of course, it's important to start the holiday campaigns a month earlier on Pinterest than you would on other platforms. Again, the people on Pinterest are really starting their shopping process and their holiday planning a lot earlier than they are on other platforms. This is your opportunity to be part of that early consideration cycle and start earlier on Pinterest. So target your media and your creative to reach consumers across each phase of their purchase journey. Help inspire them by starting earlier. And then measure holistically. So you want to be looking at a measurement solution that counts all of the marketing touch points and look at incrementality. If you're focused on last click alone, as you'll recall from the New Star study that we looked at earlier, you might be undercrediting Pinterest by 50% of the sales that you generated there. Marketers should think a little bit differently about how they're doing that strategy. And so when you think about this, the most important CTA here is to check out that holiday board. That's a pin code. So if you take out your cameras and you snap that little pin code there, we'll take you to some of the best holiday boards from last season to give you some inspiring ideas. So as we round out today's session, we wanted to just leave you with a couple of examples for the best of holiday last year. And the first one in the mix is Gravity Blankets. So Gravity Blankets increased their sales by 2x on Pinterest. And I don't know if everybody has experienced Gravity Blankets, but they're basically weighted blankets that can help you with a number of different issues related to sleep, stress, or anxiety. So Gravity Blankets came to Pinterest in this example and had a 58% lower cost per acquisition. And these weighted blankets are real health technology improvement for people, and that's dedicated to improving people's well-being. So the research indicates that these blankets can help people fall asleep faster and more deeply, and that doesn't require prescription or any sort of therapeutic training. So they were expanding their digital advertising leading up to 2008, and then they were shifting their focus to maximizing the website traffic. When they worked with their agency here, they kicked off a new campaign, and that helped them scale their customer acquisition efforts and drive sales at the lowest cost on Pinterest. That was deemed as a big success. Switching categories to Albertsons, they saw a 14 times return on ad spend. So during the holiday season, Albertsons wanted to boost their grocery sales across the categories with inspirational and accessible recipes. And since Pinterest is the largest mobile destination for food, Pinners are spending 5% more on groceries than the national average. And in this case, it was a perfect place for Albertsons to launch their campaign. They decided on a 2-month activation that started in November and went through December 2016. It was the right platform for them because they generated in-store sales, but also brought sales volume in that resulted from their exposure on Pinterest to a really impressive return. They focused in the beginning to target millennials. And since the turkey is such a big start off to the holiday season around Thanksgiving, they introduced some interesting pins around jalapeno turkey chili popper, which was something that people are making from leftovers after their holiday season. And then they shifted that as time progressed into eggnog pie as they got closer to the Christmas holiday. And after that, they focused on easy weeknight meal recipes to help people alleviate some of the heavy cooking that they were doing in the kitchen, to have some easy one-pan salmon recipes and one-pan ginger chops to help people do easy recipes for the remainder of their year. Room and board, I think, is the second to last example that we have here. They were seeing 33 times return on ad spends from their shopping ads campaign. So when you look at what they're trying to do, they've been on Pinterest since 2012. People on Pinterest are saying the platform gives them new ideas. So 93% are saying that people give them new ideas for home decor products to shop for. The room and board team knew that well. So they started doing promoted pins and shopping ad campaigns as early as 2018. They were doing promoted pins, promoted video, but then they added in those shopping pins as well. They used text overlay to give people decor tips. So for example, some of their pins said things like, do you know we offer free design services, and here's 7 ways to arrange a frame wall. These helpful tips helped people incorporate not only their furniture, but their services into their everyday lives and into their home decor ideas. And these are a couple more insights for both auto and food and beverage. So these are the 2 categories that we can send as follow-ups as well. And in the beauty category, we can follow up with these as well. But generally speaking, across the core categories of fashion, entertainment, financial services, beauty, and home, there are great insights for you to take advantage of, where we're seeing stronger save behavior in certain categories, like outdoor Christmas lights, for example, or in this case, video games, and video game setup in tech. So make sure you reach out to your Pinterest reps for these case studies, and we can share them from there.
All right. Thanks, Tim. I think that was very insightful, and I hope everyone attending the webinar now feels a lot more confident about launching their Pinterest holiday campaigns. We've got some questions there. The first one is from Eric. What future developments do you see in visual search that retailers should know about?
Yeah, so this is a great question. Visual search is a relatively new mode of search for marketers out there to consider. And thank you for attending the webinar to everybody out there. I hope you found it useful. If you have additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, Tim Smith at Pinterest.com, or to your account teams. When you think about visual search, retailers really need to be thinking about how they're going to be presenting their products to the end consumer in a way that they can use those ideas. So if that person is planning their new master bedroom remodel, or if they're planning their perfect dining room table, it's important that you really present those ideas to people in a way that they can incorporate them into their everyday life. It's important to recognize that keywords aren't the only way that you can target your ads. If you can connect visually with somebody, and again, Pinterest has those related pins that are using an image as the key for the resulting video searches rather than a text input, it's important to consider how people are going through that customer journey, relying on what visual signals they find appealing.
Absolutely. The next question is about the seasonality. And so does the seasonality for shopping on Pinterest vary from other channels?
Yeah, it definitely does. And we hope to be sharing some additional research on this later on in this coming month. But seasonality is very important on Pinterest because people are planning on Pinterest much earlier. You saw that people as early as August are starting to think about their holiday planning, and that just increases right up into the holiday season itself. So again, when you think about Pinterest and how it differs, it's earlier. It's a lot earlier than it is on other platforms. The other thing to remember is that when you have exposures on Pinterest, that exposure might be 3 to 4 weeks ahead of the end conversion that you see on the back end. So it's important to recognize that Pinterest as an early touch point is a very important factor in the purchase decision-making process versus just that last click. Both are important, but if you want to take advantage of conversion opportunities in Pinterest and drive those incremental sales, it's important to take into account that early touch and to start earlier on Pinterest.
Absolutely. Just to add on to that, I think when you look at the overall paid media strategy as one big bucket, it's interesting to see if you have some efforts going on Pinterest as well as your other programs, let's say on Google search, it's interesting to almost manage it like a portfolio where you start, getting those new visitors in and building that brand awareness on Pinterest. Like Tim said, it might start as early as August or September, and then as you hit the key holiday days, some of the spend could shift to your lower funnel tactics. So I think it's important not to look at each channel in a silo, but look at it more of a holistic approach where every channel eventually comes together to acquire the right user, the right customer online. So I think those are the two questions that we had today. I would like to thank everyone for attending the social week. Some of you made it to all the 3 days. That was great. And as a next step, I think if anyone wants to get started on Pinterest, even as soon as for the holiday season, we would be more than happy to help you kind of launch that program. Tim will be working very closely with NetElixir in enabling that. So feel free to reach out to social@netelixir.com. If you have an existing Pinterest account, we would love to do a quick holiday audit for you. If you are not started on Pinterest yet, still feel free to reach out and we can help you get started. Thank you again. Have a great day ahead.